but not like Christianity religion. That would mostly just be out of interest. Oh, okay.
Your name is Zach?
Yeah.
So is mine.
It's actually Zach Attack, but he changed his scenery and shaved his beard, so no one would do it.
Changed his type too. I mean, he's dedicated.
Wait,
Old to
I
me
got,
and everything. One of the, just another millennial whose parents decided, yeah, Zach's hip.
Well, actually, for me, like a bunch of people around my age, like so I'm 24. When my parents named me, they said that like Zach was really unpopular, but apparently everyone had the same idea. They're like, oh, like no one's named Zach, like it's rare, and then everyone thought that at around like in the 1990s, so like 1990, 91, 92,
Yeah.
like that was the time, and then so like a bunch of people named their like kids Zach. And
It's like the 10th most common name in
now, yeah,
94 or something.
yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, my real name's Zach too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I think we're all INFJs and we're all named Zach. Really, I think
My mom told me that if I was going to be a girl, she was going to name me Zeb. And I was like,
Oh,
why? Zeb? What? Like,
Zeb, you sound like you should have a hunchback.
Zeb. Like,
Here comes
it's like, oh,
Zebina.
well, here comes Zeb. I just feel like it'd be setting me up to be like that weird fat girl that is like ends up being a lesbian because I don't know, like that's what I hear, like that's what I think of when
Well, on
I
the upside, no one's gonna molest you now. Coming around with the
I would
band
call
and
you-
be like, hey, what's your name? You're gonna be like Zeb. They'll be like, yeah, never mind.
yeah, I have to change it to, like
instead of
like zebra or something. Like I don't know.
yeah.
Zebra? Yeah, zebra.
Zebra.
I was gonna say if I were your friend, I would call you Zebra
Zebra.
instead of like Deborah. Zebra.
Zibora.
I'd just take it in a totally different direction and just rename you Zebicus Maximus. Because why not? I mean, if you're already fucking around with Zeb, might as well. Ken is short for Kenneth, which is my dad's name. Then my middle name is Ashford, which is named after my grandfather's brother.
So you're Ken
Yeah.
Jr.
Yeah, I am a junior. You could call me junior.
Junior.
But,
Call you Junior.
Yeah, I don't really like that too much though. I like Ken, on occasion Kenneth, but Ken or Kenny, pretty much. But yeah, middle name Ashford, which was my grandfather's brother's name. He fucking back in like the 1920s or 30s or something. He fucking died in college from pneumonia. I was like, I forgot that was like back during the final days of when shit was still hardcore.
Had to shorten it for some reason. I don't know.
Said if I want to end myself, it's I want to kend myself.
Zach, we're wearing the same color shirt again?
Yeah, I changed shirts.
Can you two just bang already?
Or
Yeah, definitely.
okay.
Can you two just like hook up and get the romance on with?
These weird, awkward. No one knows what to do, where to go.
This guy talks without moving his lips. I always have to wonder who's talking.
Me?
Yeah.
I? Yeah.
This
That's
guy
probably
talks
why-
without using a space. You can't trust that.
That's probably why I'm untrustworthy.
I don't know where the sound is coming from.
Is there anyone else here? Like,
One thing I was gonna say is Carl Jung had mentioned something about the like extroverted intuitives. He did mention something, and I thought it was funny.
Who?
Was that
Who?
Carl Jung?
What about him?
He had mentioned something about extroverted intuitives that I had just remembered. Because he's trying to pin down the introverted intuitives more, but somebody asked him a question about the extroverted intuitives. He's like, oh yeah, those are like the people you see like becoming like hunters, bankers, gamblers, stuff like that. I was like, yeah, that's fairly fitting. Just like it's more.
Honestly, I have no idea what we do. Like, I don't really know any.
There's a sort of
Adult.
metaphysical capitalizing.
Yeah. I hang out with a lot of ENFPs and we smoke pot sometimes.
I have the solution for you. What you really want is not It's not that you don't know what you want to do. It's what you want to do everything, right? So that
Right.
means your first goal should be to achieve immortality, right? So there you go. There's your life mission.
No, because death's part of it. That's one of the things I want to do the most.
Right. But you achieve immortality, but you can still terminate your own life, right? So that's always something you could do after you've done all the other things.
But there's something else about not really choosing to die, but like more arriving at it. Like I'm maybe this is more of like a NI sort of thing for me, but it's like to understand that it's coming and to understand subconsciously that it's coming, so that when it comes, it's like, yes, this is the moment. It wasn't chosen; it almost feels preordained.
That's a very Zen thing, isn't it? That's like Zen Buddhism right there. It's kind of like, oh well.
And here we go, warriors running into Vishnu's teeth.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like a happy day, not like a sad day.
Well, I don't know if the Vishnu thing would relate to that, so maybe I might have to change the imagery.
No, my solution to wanting to do everything has just been make my main goal to do nothing. Like, really what I want to do is nothing, and then everything else is a bonus. It takes a lot of stress off. It's very
That seems a lot less stressful than putting the burden of trying to find the fountain of youth. That seems really stressful.
Yeah, and as a result, you find the fountain of youth. It's all about this is it right here.
Yeah, you were reading from that earlier too.
Yeah, it's great. I highly recommend.
I highly recommend it. Who's the Blanky McBlankerson of the Blanky Blank Blankles?
Huh?
Light bulb.
Hey, light bulb.
I'm eating.
Are you eating cheese out of the package?
No, I knew you were gonna say that.
You're in I. It just knew.
As soon as I said I'm eating, I went, damn it, cheese. Now I'll show you. Let's see. I'm heading over to a dance thing for my niece.
She's just in the car eating cheese straight out of the package.
She's
There.
in the cutter.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Cat
parked. I'm not
feces.
driving. I'm eating my Chinese food.
Looks like she's eating Kush right out of the thing.
I think she's eating cats. or
She's
something.
just cramming weed nuggets into her face.
Have you guys ever chewed and eaten a weed nugget?
No.
A what nugget?
Like
Weed nugget.
A little nugget of bud.
Totally, man.
I mean,
Oh,
well, I hadn't done it because there's this guy that was growing it, and he's like, well, we'd actually smoked DMT, but then he was like, dude, just eat this nug. And it wasn't that bad. It was just like it was like crunchy and like kind of tasty but like not like satisfying. It was just like, oh, okay. Like it wasn't bad though.
how was the DMT?
Well, I had a much different trip than he did. Basically, I was a little bit I looked as the trip was coming on. I like looked at this kind of like there was like this little like swirl in the clouds, and I was looking at it, and it kind of looked like an eye. And I was like looking straight at it, and I was like, "Show me what you got!" Like kind of like like so intense, And then what I received in return was like I was completely in the present. So like a lot of people end up like in an entirely like cerebral realm that's like but mine it was like it's like I was fused with the world around me. Like I felt like I could feel everything. I don't know. And like the thing that I got out of that trip was really that like show me what you got. And it was kind of like you already know what I got. Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, and it was like, oh, I know this place. It's just that everything's a little bit, now it's just easy to see. you know.
Uh-huh.
But it was very physical body trip for me. Whereas, like, I looked over my friend, and he was like, and I was like, what? Like, so like my I don't know. It was, I had a weird, you know, that's the only first and only time I had done DMT. So I don't know. It could have been too that I just didn't like get a whole ton of it, so I was able to stay more grounded, you know, and I got like something out of it. But that was my experience.
Yeah, I still like to do it. I don't know what my experience would be.
But also my setting when I was going into it was I was a little bit concerned about like my emotional stability at the time. So I had a few walls up, I guess, when I was going into it. So that might have also kept me from getting too into the cerebral kind of like the internal stuff. That could have played a role. But
Yep. Did you have the thought? Oh, he's gone.
just talk. If I am gonna respond, I'm just like in my room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, was it I'm trying to find something. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Is it? Is it? Yeah, but what was I saying? All right, yeah, it's like
Right.
doing that. I don't know if I would like take DMT and then try to listen to something like while I'm doing it. Like I don't know if I would just be there or if I would try to particularly tap into something more.
So the thing about a DMT trip is it's like really quick, unless it's like someone's made it like bioavailable through some kind of like ayahuasca brew or something. Like when you smoke it, it's going to be like a 15-minute thing at most, you know. So I would say that it's not going to really matter, other than that you're just in a comfortable environment with someone that you trust or people that you trust in general. But things like, you know, shrooms or like LSD or something like that, yeah, like it's any sensory input is like really interesting, you know. So, I don't know. But DMT is like it's going to be kind of like intense, like no matter where you are. It's just you would like it to be positively intense rather than negatively intense, right? So whatever is going to do the good vibes. So if it's music, then fine.
Yeah, see, I don't quite understand that.
So
it's for it to be a positive experience.
Okay, so it's like set and setting. It's kind of like, you know how like before you do anything, like let's say you're a kid and you're getting ready to like your parents were going to bring you into town and do something, like if you had like a negative or a positive impression about that event before you went, it'll actually affect whether or not you have a good or bad time. It's like,
no, I guess I'm more. It's more like if you have a negative experience, I don't see that as like
that's a bad thing.
Not necessarily, although
Right.
there will be bad elements of it, and it's not that, oh well, it sucked, but it's all good. It's not that it was all
It
good.
depends, because there's some people that like I've seen that have it reveals parts of their like mind that they had buried up and locked up and they weren't ready to deal with. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to like make that judgment for yourself whether or not you think that that's like a possibility or not. But that's why it's like you can't worry too much about it, because if you worry and like anxious about it, like it might make it actually happen. You know, like a bad experience.
Right.
Like I guess the thing is for people what they call is like ego death. So the sense of like delocalizing from your sense of self. For some people, that's so terrifying that they do something like really stupid or dangerous, like try and like jump out a window or something. Like that doesn't
If
make.
I were doing that, I'd want to be strapped down.
Well, that's what you just have to. You want to have someone there that's like a sitter. Is the idea? It's like a sober person that's like experienced, it's like knows how to bring the appropriate mood to like make sure that no one starts going down like a feedback loop, negativity or like disillusionment or something that is dangerous for anybody. Yeah. But I only say that just because you have to be aware of it. But it's not something that's like most people. It's just totally chill. It's just that like usually it's like, or if people are like get together and try and like trip in an environment where they actually like have some kind of issue with other people they're with, but they didn't speak up and say anything about it. So they're like tripping, and then they start to have negativity because of other people that they have negative emotions about that they're with and stuff. So you just want to make sure you're around people that you feel like you could trust with like your most, I don't know, like you don't want to feel like in a vulnerable spot, because if you're vulnerable, you'll start getting defensive and trying to cling on to reality. And if you're trying to cling onto reality, like onto like your normal sense of reality, if you're clinging to it, it might make things negative because you're like fighting your own like perception.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I don't know.
No, I get it. Makes sense.
What's his type?
INT penis. Oh, 714. Look at that.
What's up?
That's just your Enneagram.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm still not sure about
Check
the
out his
type nonsense, but
What's that? Check out what?
me.
Yeah.
said I'm
I didn't
still
hear what you
not.
said, casual.
Yeah, I said check him out. He's smelling the clothes to see which are dirty.
Oh, yeah, that's totally. I'm not gonna say that's an INTP
Smell
thing.
check is the most effective check. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The only one
I feel like that's just more it just seems like more of an intuitive thing, mainly.
Yeah, my brother's all about smell check. ENTJ. To the point where he makes it a thing. It's like
Of course, he makes it a thing,
he
isn't he?
makes everything a thing. It used to bother me
It's
so
gotta be
much.
official.
Now I
Gotta be
just
official.
think it's so funny, because he's like self-aware too, and so we just like pretty much everything either one of us says is like, oh, classic.
Did he block? Is he lagging or something?
Hmm?
Can you hear me? Is it me? Or is it me? Huh?
People coming, people going, people taking off, going places. People talking down there in that chat. You think Flo is NIDOM? I've heard she was INFP.
Is INFJ?
Uh,
I think so.
what do you think of Trent Reznor?
I don't know.
I mean, I get INFJ vibes from him, but I'm not sold on it.
Yeah, same.
Where do you get
Yeah.
INFJ vibes from?
Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails.
Oh.
And I think I've heard INFJ for Marilyn Manson as well.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson, ESTP. Pretty sure.
What?
That's
I
based
might
off.
believe that.
That's one
because-
based off one interview I saw the other day where I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I might believe that because ESTP can look a lot like INFJ.
Possibly.
It's just the reverse.
Actually, I mean, maybe. I guess I hadn't thought about it. I actually know an ESTP that I think is most likely the same tri-type as, or not the same tri-type, but sort of in the same tri-type archetype of Marilyn Manson. I see Marilyn Manson get pegged as Neptune's tri-type 458.
Yeah.
And
I don't know though. Now I'm looking at another.
I know an ESTP who is, I think he's an 854. And he's got some interesting stuff. Actually, Neptune, I'm going to link you the ESTP's, his Tumblr thing.
Okay.
He's a sexual self-preservation 854, I think. I mean, what do you think of that?
What?
His Tumblr. I just posted it.
Oh. Whoa. Who's this?
So,
He has the same taste in art as me. That's interesting. Like exactly.
He
Well,
does
pretty
not.
similar to my aesthetic, I think.
Very different from my aesthetic.
Like there's something comforting about that kind of like what people consider like chaotic, I guess. And like warped. Like I feel very comfortable there.
I use
You would, you fucking emo kid.
No, it's just that like I'd rather have things be overtly chaotic than secretly chaotic. So when I see art that's like really serene and stuff, it's like I don't know.
But what if it's actually serene?
I guess I just don't relate to it maybe.
So you are an emo kid.
I use a couple overlapping images of his. Actually, I think I took some of his, but I feel like there's differences. I don't identify with your guys' tri-type though. I think I'm probably in the 469 tri-type. It's funny though because he was saying he thinks I'm probably sexual blind, but he's like this damn 469s. They got this like pseudo sexual vibe. I'm like, it's like I can't believe it's not butter, just with sex.
Why not both at the same time?
What's Google Chrome Helper, and why is it using all my CPU power?
Because it's helping.
It's supposed to be.
It's probably the CIA. You better leave the country as soon as possible. You're being targeted.
That's such a lovely sound.
Well,
Soothing, really.
they said they just wanted it on instead of me
Yeah.
turning it on and off.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Leave it there so I can complain about how miserable it is listening to it. Gives me something.
Yeah, that sounds productive.
Who let she in here?
The
Women's
gods.
rights.
I've been saying that was a mistake for a long time.
Can we
concept
be
of
honest?
time
What,
is weird.
what did the whole right to vote thing really accomplish?
Actually,
Women feeling like they
unironically-
matter.
Unironically, not a whole lot.
Shut your mouth.
Not really.
Shut
Like,
your
You know-
whore mouth.
No, listen.
One day,
Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
eventually, women will be superior to men.
Oh, Jesus.
Men will be fulfilling
Janelle-
the role of the housewife. Just
Janelle,
wait.
you-
And I'm not
yeah.
saying that because I'm a woman.
Thank God.
That'll be
I just-
awesome.
Are you
I
saying that
sit
because
at
you're an
home all
idiot?
day, and I don't have to do shit. It'll be
Ken,
great.
shut your mouth.
I
No,
vote
I would-
of my own accord.
I'll
I was
breastfeed.
saying-
I don't care.
That when the 19th Amendment was passed, most of the states had already legalized women voting, and the ones that hadn't, it was on the ticket.
Listen,
Yeah,
all
you gotta
I'm
do
going to
it.
say
You have to
is
put it
that,
into words.
listen, all I'm going to say is the legalization of women's rights is a gateway drug. So that's all I'm
That's what
saying.
I'm saying, dude. Next, they're going to start thinking that they matter, that they have thoughts. You can't let that happen.
I'm
Jesus.
all for gateways.
You get shit like
I-
Steven
Let
Universe.
it all flow.
It's one of the few things I get slightly uncomfortable about when I'm being just.
The more rights and respect you give to women, I mean, the more. I mean, possibilities.
Can't
are
even finish the
endless.
thought.
So,
She's like she's searching for it, but it's
no, I'm saying the more capable they are to be successful at, like, in the roles that men are fulfilling right now.
Like what?
The only
mean,
woman I've seen so
leadership
far.
role.
Like
the only,
internet
There's gonna be
trolls.
robots in the future anyway that are doing all the jobs. So I don't know what you guys are all worried about.
Well, no, I'm genuinely curious. Like, what roles that men fulfill right now
What
that
will
we're
people
not
do?
letting
When,
women do?
what will people do when you have robots fulfilling it? Just a shit ton of things. What will we do with our time?
Like content generation, collaboration, like ideas, the kind of thing that artificial intelligence is going to have a slower time catching up with. You know, like entertainment, all those
Actors.
intuitives will probably be the last ones to go extinct. Would be my guess.
No shit.
Because
but
robots
still.
will
except for
replace all the SJs.
Well, people that might go the like cyborg route, right? You might be one and the same anyway, and then at that point, gender becomes pretty irrelevant.
I mean, robots already generated art on themselves. For example, music.
Sure.
They've made music. They've made pictures. They made
but
abstract art.
the creative act was like people like inventing the logic structure that it was able to generate these things that we consider beautiful. You know, it's like
Yeah, but they've already like taken places that are supposed to be humans.
oh yeah,
And,
that's,
but that already happened a long time ago, and we still have professions, and we are still alive. So there is not that much bother.
Yeah, not that much
I think that-
changes. Everything changes all the time, but not that
I
much
mean,
really changes.
people freak
quickly.
out, and there are crises. That doesn't mean that we don't get to survive. When the first machine ever was like invented and put into place, I think it was in the 16th century, but I'm not sure. And I remember
He was there.
I remember the workers breaking all of the machines, but in the end, the machines took over, and
oh,
way
you're talking
less
about like the
people
Luddite,
were-
the Luddite movement, and the
How do I do?
the people were against like industrialization and stuff because basically
Yes.
that they weren't going to have
But
as many jobs and yeah.
Yes, but it still took over, and it's all right. We still have professions, and I think the same will happen. There will be needed less people for more kind of industrial things, but there still will be needed some sort of amount of people.
I think the thing that people are concerned about is that coming up, if we have another like productivity explosion, that's like, you know, like people call it like when people talk about like the singularity, right? That's kind of what they're talking about. I guess the idea is that if the rate of change is like too quick, then humans won't be able to adapt like they did back then quick enough. That's like what people's concern is. And as far as like people won't be able to like, it might have a rough transition period until they figure out what their role is. If like, you know, AI and like robotics and stuff rapidly, you know, if it was something that was rolled out over a matter of decades rather than like over a century, you know what I mean? Like,
But I mean, it's controlled. It's controlled.
for now, yeah.
As long as there's no insane person, an ENTP or some sort of ISIS terrorist that is going to launch this. It should be quite under control and launched when we're prepared for it.
You would hope so. And it seems like the signs seem to indicate that's the case.
I mean,
but
not even hope so. People are really, really scared of such things. I mean, if you look at the nuclear factories, statistically they've killed the least people, but there's the most fuss about it. Therefore, there are such enormous legal regulations that you can't imagine ever any accident to happen again, right? And the same is going to be with AI. It's not as dangerous as driving a car.
just because everybody is so paranoid about it, that it feels like there's going to be so many checks and balances because everyone
Exactly
has doing so. You know,
I mean, thinking, like, why would people voluntarily replace themselves into extinction? That doesn't make sense.
Right. People wouldn't do something like that unless they had. You know, people would, demand of their governments and stuff like some sort of transition. You know, like that. Yeah.
Like
people would.
We're in a strong bureaucracy. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. So the chance of something like that being kind of making apocalypse happen is so unlikely. I mean, it's more likely that we'll die because of zombies than that we'll die because of AI. And
yeah, I just worry about, like, there's always going to be like I don't know, like if we're not too careful, there might be like recessions and stuff like that where a bunch of people have like a kind of rough time, but not like apocalypse level. You know what I mean? I think we should still mitigate against, like the potential like people that would be thrown into poverty during the transition period.
But I mean, there were many times that an asteroid almost killed all of humanity on Earth, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, that shit.
Not the people. It was an asteroid of disparity. It almost killed our
Not everybody's humanity. A fucking emo kid, Ken.
Yeah, but for as much as you're overtly anti-emo, you're probably one of the most emo people I know.
How the fuck does that make sense?
I'm emo.
It makes perfect sense.
You nihilistic fuck.
What's wrong about nihilism?
See, now I might be nihilistic on the inside and in my thoughts, but you make me nihilistic just by walking into the room. So you're more existentially nihilistic than I am.
I stopped listening. What did you say?
See what I mean? You're fucking pit of despair, Ace. Who allowed you to procreate?
What's wrong about nihilism?
You know what, Ash? Sick of your shit.
Still doesn't
I would like
answer
to say,
the
though,
question.
On the
Oh, what's wrong with nihilism?
On the
It's
whole,
not my cup of tea. I wouldn't say it's inherently wrong. I just don't run into a lot of people that really understand the philosophy. Most of them are just like, life is pain and I want to die.
Life is pain.
The stupid, ironic way.
Nah, I just find it motivating because it basically says nothing matters. You're free to do whatever you want unless you're bound to evolution. And therefore you can set out anything you desire with no restrictions and be less afraid of death without needing to have an sort of religious.
How do you find the drive for that if you're a true nihilist and nothing matters? What gives you the passion to pursue anything?
Well, I would say that if you are a true nihilist, then it's kind of like I don't know what you would call it, what phrase you'd call it, but like if you're a true nihilist, you really believe that, then you're the kind of person that would take motivation from that. A person that would reject that theory and go, no, I don't like that, wouldn't believe it.
I think it's more like a conscious. I mean, when people are truly motivated by it, I don't think it's as much nihilism truly motivating them as much as the philosophy of nihilism is making way for more unconscious elements to have their way, rather than having this psychological barrier of this is the way things need to be.
No, it's rather that nihilism establishes a route that is not lying, and still still kind of allows you to do what you want and not be afraid of death. So it's better to be nihilistic than Christian, to like not be afraid of death, because when you're Christian, you might not be right, and I believe that religion is sort of a lie.
But what if
Do you
you're
fear
That
that
is
death?
made up. Sorry,
Do
that
you
is
fear
made
that
up. That is made up to kind of like,
A nihilist could equally fear death.
well, my question to that would be, well, what if you're wrong about Christianity being wrong? Then there's some consequences there.
What if you're wrong about nihilism's being right?
Well, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
No, I was agreeing with you, you fuckface.
I mean, nihilism is like a sort of way. Have you heard of positive nihilism?
Positive nihilism. It's just like, well, I mean, nothing really matters, but let's eat some cake.
Exactly. Sort of. It's like nothing really matters, therefore I'm free to do whatever I want because it won't have any consequences.
I'd like to turn Ash into a pie and eat him. Is that okay, Ash?
That's really sweet of you.
Can I turn you into pie?
I don't know if I'd call that sweet.
Try.
I could make him sweet. I would have to add some
Very
things
moist.
because
You need to add some moisture to it.
it probably tastes like a pile of Norwegian shit or wherever he's from. But yeah, I'll just add some sweetener.
Wow.
Wow.
Rude.
Probably tastes like
Yeah.
ashes.
Again, I wasn't listening.
One comment I was going to make on the gender thing, because I think we were joking around about, what was it? Like, so somebody started something about, like, women being able to do jobs men do or something, and then we went off into the life is paying direction of things. I was going to say, I like, traditional manly, like, roles, I trust Audra to fill those roles more effectively than I could.
Audra is OP as fuck. She's cool.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is I was like, some of those things, I was like, I want to do well. You don't want me trying to fill some of those roles.
About like in a relationship or something?
No, I'm in more like
war.
Like she's actually motivated herself to like gain awards, not necessarily for the sake of the awards, but like actually motivated herself to like learn how to shoot and like all these different things. And it's like it's still, some of those things still haven't dawned upon me. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. People do that. I should probably get on that.
Well, a civilization like we have doesn't require that every single male be able to do those things.
Right. It'd be also different if I grew up in the culture where it was actually enforced. I don't mean enforced as like some sort of rule, but it's like if I was
Encouraged
with it. Right. Let's even go with encouraged, because it's sort of encouraged, but it's more of an abstract thing where it's like you don't necessarily have every
expected,
family. Right.
more or less.
Yep.
So, yeah. Who's Magnus the second? Is he the Magnus?
Huh?
One Magnus?
Magnus the second.
Who's Magnus? Is he here?
I don't know if it's Magnus if I can see that sweet ass.
Oh yeah, it's not him. I'm gonna kick him.
Okay. Someone trying to get in here. I think the other blankie is. Oh, they're tapping. Oh,
Yeah.
it's happening.
But I don't think the fighting, the defense of a society will be going to women anytime soon, simply because it takes a long time for biology to work or evolution to work.
I think something I realized just as we were having the conversation about that is that there's all of the science fiction stuff about people going to other planets and terraforming it. I'm like, why shouldn't we just stay here on Earth, figure out how to make it so that people can be highly adaptive to other atmospheres, and then go out?
That's not how we do things. That's no fun.
Exactly.
That would be more fun though, because instead of having to stop every 15 fucking minutes to be like, is this going to kill us or whatnot? It's just like, oh, there's a planet. Let's go over there.
We don't care about dying. We go to Antarctica for like no reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Climb
sociology.
Everest and just die. You know, it's like we're just in it for the thrill anyway. We're not really trying to get to Mars.
We really
You want
are.
to
Like,
go-
it's not even bullshit. Like, we, as a species, are basically.
If you want to
driven-
go,
We're just
want
doing
to
it
go-
because, you know.
Yeah, basically.
Don't go-
Just
if you want to go this direction, it would be way, way better to learn how to genetically modify others and then accept or copy the traits of
like eugenics.
resistant kind of creatures and modify humans so that instead of actually killing thousands or millions of people to find the right genes for the planet, you could actually just modify it in a lab and not be a psychopath, just saying.
Good thought. Not being a psychopath, that's a good thought.
You know, Neptune was talking earlier about let's say Zach not being trustworthy. I think Zach seems way more trustworthy than fucking Ash. Like, I wouldn't let Ash in my house. I'm just saying.
Ash just gets in
Right.
your house though. It's on like the bottom of your boot, whatever.
All right, now.
You smoke it all.
Scum of the earth.
Damn.
I've never seen Ash. I'm just speaking on the Avatar.
No, I
He's
just
like,
read
he's like
too much.
15 or 16.
Uh,
Are you gonna let him say that to you, Ash?
Of course he
Items.
is.
What?
Are you-
We throw hands in the parking lot. Go.
Throw hands.
I didn't catch what you were saying.
What?
I'm just
I didn't
kidding.
catch what you were saying.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a severely personal problem.
Huh? I'm getting pretty good at Tetris and playing the piano. Glad for that.
That's good.
That's my life now, Tetris and piano. Nothing
See-
else
see what I mean?
matters.
I don't know if this makes
And-
sense, but sometimes when people say things, I feel like punching their words.
An interesting way to phrase that.
I love that.
That's next level surrealism.
Is that how you feel when Eric is ranting and speaking fast?
No, it's more like when Eric starts ranting, it's sort of like having an upset stomach. Like I just am like looking for a Tums or something. Like, you know, like some sort of Alka-Seltzer or something. That's what it is. It's more like when Eric starts ranting, it's more like mild discomfort. It's kind of like my computer fan. It's like he eventually says enough words and it just drowns out into the background. He's like, you can't adjudicate that particular thing. Why would that number? You can't use it within that no, because that's an epistemology. You can't be done. I'm just like, oh, this is wonderful background noise. Oh shit, Eric's talking. Okay. White noise, yeah.
Definitely.
Ace looks like the kind of person who probably ate condoms for fun as a kid.
The grape ones are great. My favorite afternoon snack.
I mean, is there a problem with that?
You judging my lifestyle choices, bro?
Ace has a selfish face, but it's not untrustworthy.
Who?
You talking about me?
This is accurate.
Ace asked in the chat, "What do you think
A
of mine?"
selfish face, but it's not untrustworthy.
Yeah.
Actually, very accurate. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very honest, but I am a dick. Not
That's
the funny
fine.
kind. I'm just
I'm
selfish.
I'm very honest and
I
I'm a
bet
dick.
I'm.
Like honesty and being a dick are by no means mutually exclusive. In fact, maybe mutually
I mean-
exclusive.
I think I am a bigger dick than you in.
Why
Or
don't you wait until it
race.
finishes growing until you do that?
I mean, funnily enough, it's from 7 to 8 inches now, so I won't be saying anything.
Okay, so I'm guessing once you roll about my age, it'll shorten down to what it actually is.
I hope so.
I'm calling you a liar, Ash. I don't know if you're following that.
Yeah.
Wait, are you guys
I
talking?
mean, it's not as good because you're afraid of hurting other people.
What was that?
It's not as good as it sounds because then you're afraid of hurting other people.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I
Like,
just sometimes I'm so antisocial because of the length of my penis. I'm so worried that I'm going to hurt other people's feelings just when I'm talking to them.
Oh, we're talking about your
Like-
fucking dick still? God
Yeah.
damn it.
No, yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, it's
I
7
thought we
8
moved
inches.
on from his fucking miner's dick. Like, the cops are gonna be here any minute. I can tell.
I mean,
We're done, Ash. It's over.
look Czech Republic
It's
in the
over,
chart.
Ash. It's over.
You play
Go
piano,
home.
Ash? Ash, you play piano?
I'm trying to. I can play a few things. I think I can even play the beginning of Dead Island.
Because
I think it's called Dead Island. Just
something-
plain up Dead Island.
key is D flat minor.
If I bang on enough keys, I can play part of at least some song.
Never mind, never mind.
I mean, it's funny. I didn't. Never mind.
Right, never mind. Oh.
Has anybody seen any movies recently?
Oh, here's the one I want to talk about. Manchester by the Sea. Anyone seen it?
Nope.
Oh, well.
Yesterday I watched Spirited Away.
I feel like
It's
the
an-
dude. I feel like the dude with all the arms is like a physical manifestation of any.
The
Anime
whole
with a
movie is
mistake.
like FINA.
It's
The whole
like-
movie is FINA.
Yeah.
What's that noise in the background?
Don't worry about it. Okay. You need to seriously stop asking questions. Ask.
I mean, was there except for asking questions?
I'm not saying people shouldn't ask questions. I'm just saying you.
There's popcorn. That's pretty good.
But I finally watched Full Metal Jacket all the way through.
Holy shit, the movie's
Oh, good.
awesome.
So good.
So I'd seen like most of it, but I realized I was like, I never actually watched it all the way through. So I
You gotta watch it all the way through.
Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me? But
Oh shit.
yeah, that one, and then I recommended Grand Budapest Hotel to some people. I still stand by that. That was.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, it's good.
She's been murdered, and you think it was me. It just takes off running. They're like, stop! Stop. See, I don't normally like that. Like just the sort of vibe that movie gave off when it came to, what is it? What you call it?
Theaters.
I guess some of the coloring or the. What are you talking about? Wait, what'd you say?
I don't know. Wes Anderson's like color palette, use of color, use
Yeah, a
of
bit of
mise en
that.
scène.
I mean, it was very particular as compared to a lot of other mainstream movies, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think also like sort of more higher society European vibe. I never really liked that. Like when people rant and rave about like France or Italy or stuff like that, I don't really care about the cultural aspects of stuff. But I don't know. I felt like the movie made it work. No, Ash. Ash, your life must be pretty fucked up because I'm your Tyler Durden.
What?
No, Ken is not an ENTP. You fucking casual.
Then what are you?
INFJ. Yeah, ESTP, obviously.
Bullshit, there are no ESTPs.
Ash, when are you gonna come out as an INFP, Ash? When are you gonna do it? When are you gonna admit it to yourself?
I mean, I'd finally get some FI. That would be cool.
Yeah. Your time's up, casual. I said 1 second. You're not back. Casual. I'm a guy with a webcam and a mic, but I'm typing.
Oh, that's good. You just changed your picture. Now everything makes sense.
Is it? Is it
Yeah,
really?
you're the guy who was having a piece of something on his head and was good at making voices.
Perhaps.
About a year ago. Yeah, it's you.
A year ago, damn. Not quite a year ago. Getting close, but not quite. Oh, hello, Audra.
I have a bad perception of time when I don't pay attention to it.
So ever?
Having an inferior SI moment. I can't find my matches.
Can't find your matches.
I can't find my matches.
You telling me with all the skills that you've developed over the years, casting Fireball is not one of them?
Well, it doesn't replenish quickly, so I'd rather not use it frivolously. I even prepared for this. I have like several stashes and containers of them, but it doesn't mean. But inevitably, that time comes when you can't find any of them immediately, and looking is required, which I hate.
Who are you saying you're pretty sure is an INFJ, Zach?
The singer of this band, Mimicking Birds.
Yeah. I see. Does anybody have something exciting to share? If it's not exciting enough, I'll shit on it.
I'm apprenticing underweight.
Are you into grouper, Zach?
No.
So you know that comment about not exciting enough?
Grouper?
I agree with Ken. I don't even know what they're talking about, but it's clearly not exciting.
It's clearly not exciting enough. I said that we talk about DJ, R&B, and just that whole thing, because I feel like that's worthy of dissection.
I watched that TV show, Ken. It was okay.
Oh, it's okay?
Yeah, it ended kind of... Episode 3 was the best.
Huh, I can't even fucking remember episode 3.
And then it was kind of dull ending.
Yeah, I felt like it sort of ramped up. Like you're like, oh shit.
And then it was like, no, we're not going to actually do anything.
Yeah, so some of the arguments were pretty entertaining, I think.
It was interesting. Although I feel like the main character was more of an ENTP in the early parts,
Right.
and then kind of went out later. I'm like, I hate it when that happens.
Well, that's the thing about some of the older ENTPs, especially the alcoholic variety. Is maybe he's just a bit washed out.
I guess so.
Just a bit more on the feely side of things.
Yep. We just become very ineffective ISFJs.
Well, you say it was just ineffective. It wasn't the feeling. It was just ineffectiveness. You're like, really?
Well, ineffective in terms of our impact on society. You know, we're not out working at schools. We're just sitting on the porch drinking with our friends.
Yeah, I know. You know, the good plot line is when it's like, okay, you're the old ineffective ENTP or whatever, and then you have something that finally, like, it's been forever since your NE has been sparked, and you like get on a roll, and you go all, and you can go back to your like ineffectiveness afterwards, but it's more fun when they, you know, get at least a you know, short return to
reactivated like a 70-year-old limp dick getting a hold of 4 Viagra tablets. You're just on for as long as the season lasts, and it's back on again. So, yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, I fucking binge watched that TV show, Mr. Robot. That caught me off guard in some ways. First, I thought it was gonna like have a like I thought the vibe was pretty much just gonna be like a Fight Club style vibe, and then I was like, oh no, wait, this is changing, this is shifting.
I mean, the second I've heard the top 1% of the top 1% at the very beginning, I was like, that's still a shit fuck ton of people. And from that point, I've stopped watching.
Well, that's because, you know, you're kind of dumb, but you're young, so you'll get past it.
I know
You're too young to know what art is, so give it time.
You're too old to know what art is.
Yeah, I'm not too old.
I mean, what you've just said is your subjective, surrealistic.
Casual thinks I'm giving you too much shit, so I will stop that.
I don't have a problem with that. At least I have something to do.
But casual has a problem with that.
Casual is just too casual, you know. And casual life means that he isn't used to fighting a lot. I'm really tired.
My name's Audra. I sit in front of brick things.
I do sometimes.
God, I wish I was getting high right now. That sounds fun.
I don't think she's getting high, dude. That's her cigars, man.
Oh. Oh, I see. I thought it was a bowl.
Just like the fattest cigars in the universe.
No. I thought she had like a pipe in it, like 'cause I couldn't see the whole thing.
Nah, bro. She's got her cigars and her espresso. Woman of culture.
I'm contemplating, you know, doing some SI stuff, but I have to give myself preemptive.
But you're
SI
doing
reward.
SI stuff. You have your cigars.
I know,
and
but
you
I have to
your
reward
espresso.
myself with the good SI stuff in order to do the bad SI stuff. Like
How do you define
taking,
SI
you know,
stuff?
I don't know. Cleaning?
There are a lot
general?
of ways to look at cognitive functions.
That's true. I'm using it in the non-precise kind of adopted way it's used around here. I'm using it in the language of TWFP. When we say SI stuff, we mean cleaning the house is what we mean.
Chores. SI stuff is chores.
So speaking of which, look at that clean floor right there. That's an accomplishment for me.
Congrats.
I cleaned off my carport.